Guys, I've got another crazy one for you. Obviously, once again, we are watching a Bystial Dragon Link and we are going up against an Emancipator, and I will show you how or what a board can be broken by the Bystial Dragon Link hand. So we just let him play it at Emancipator, just talk about our hand for a second while he makes his plays. So we have the Cypher, which is obviously a really nice normal summon. We have Chaos Base, which is obviously a really nice starter. Liviania, if you can get it on the field, it's cool. And we have two Bystials. So our hand is really nice. Nothing really to say about this, but our opponent plays, and I will just speed this up so we can get to the end board that we will have to deal with. He goes Fossil Fusion for this guy, Skullbuggy. I've seen this card. And now the madness begins in terms of obviously the Block Dragon. Getting Block Dragon into the graveyard gives him two of his Researchers and then a Barrier Statue of the Drought. Okay, he goes Researcher. I think he whiffs here. And he does, exactly. Then he goes into Appaloosa. So Appaloosa first negate, and don't get this confused, this is at 2400 attack. It's only at 1.8 because of this guy, but he will leave the field now. Naturia Beast, so at this point I'm thinking like, okay, Appaloosa, this is already bad. There will be the Barrier Statue coming down, so I cannot special summon anything. I cannot use my Chaos Phase because of Naturia Beast, and cannot use my Bystials because of the Appaloosa. So I'm like, oh, this looks bad. And then he also plays a Baron. I'm like, okay, I'm not breaking this board. Also goes for IP Masquerina and the statue. And then again for the Block Dragon, but in this case, let's look at the end. But the Block Dragon is not really that relevant. This prevents us from special summoning anything. This prevents us from using our Chaos Space. This can basically be another interruption. This is an Omni Negate, and this has 3 Monster Negates. So I'm drawing here, and I draw into a Bystial Baldrake, which is quite nice, and now we will see how we break the board. So my thought process was this. I firstly have to get rid of the Barrier Statue of the Drought, so I have to invest my battle phase for this. I can use my Star Leech Seyfert to battle over this, but I also have to see what comes out of his IP Masquerina, of course. I special summon him, go to battle phase, and he goes into Blackluster Soldier of Chaos. This is obviously quite nice for us because this on the field doesn't have an effect that we have to care about. And he also now has put his IP Masquerina into the grave, which is a dark monster that I can use to target with my Bystials, right? Obviously, this thing cannot be destroyed by battle because it was made with IP Masquerina, sorry, by card effect because it was made with IP Masquerina. So if I want to clear this with the Levianeer, I can't. And he also gets the Block Dragon into the grave, getting him stuff for next turn to play along. So what I'm thinking right here after he makes this, I'm thinking like, okay, firstly I have to bait out either one of this here, so this goes to 1600 and I can battle over this, or I have to bait out the Baron de Fleur. So I'm here using, I use Block Dragon, I use Bystial Baldrake, try to banish the IP Masquerina. And here was my thought process. So I was thinking, which Bystial do I need least on the board? I was like, okay, I probably need Bystial Baldrake the least on the board because he will not summon anything more from the extra deck, so I don't need to banish anything. So Bystial Baldrake is basically dead. Magnamut on the board would be nice to get me maybe a Surge if I can survive for the end phase, and Sarony would also be nice to get something in the grave here. So I firstly use the Baldrake because Baldrake is the one that I want to have negated. And this is what happens. I target the IP Masquerina, he negates the Baldrake with his Appaloosa, which is pretty nice. I let this resolve, and now I have the ability to battle over the Appaloosa, which I will do here. But firstly, let him go for his searches. Obviously, if we let him play again, if he will get another round, then we are basically dead because he has a lot of follow-up. I decide to go battle phase, battle over Appaloosa, and now we have only 2 negates left, the Baron Negate and the Naturia Beast. Naturia Beast we can circumvent via the Levianeer, so we basically only have to get rid of the Baron de Fleur Negate now. So I tried to use Magnamut, and here I made a bit of a mistake. It would have been better to use Sarony here, because if he negates Sarony, destroys Sarony, then he goes directly to the grave, and I can dump something, for example the Lubelian, into the grave. The Magnamut would have been better to have on the field. This was a mistake of mine. I target the IP Masquerina, he negates it, awesome. And I just chain the Saronir, getting rid of the IP Masquerina and getting my first Bystial to the board. So we have accomplished this. Next thing I'm thinking about, this obviously goes to grave. Next thing I'm thinking about is, okay, I can right now not use the Chaos Space. The next thing I want to do is get my Chaos Dragon Levian alive to get rid of the Naturia Beast and the Baron de Fleur. I only have 1 dark in the grave and I need 1 light monster at least. and 2 dark monsters to get this job done here. So I am obviously starting with my Seifert, which can go now. I grab my Dark Dragon, banish the Seifert, go into the Striker Dragon. You know the line basically. I grab myself the Light Dragon, also the boot sector launch, sorry, which I cannot use right now. Then I go banish the Black Dragon for the Light Dragon, and now I go into Romulus, getting my Dragon Ravine to the hand. And now I'm at the point that I have 2 Darks and 1 Light in the graveyard. Next thing I do now is I use the Levianeer, destroying a Turia Beast and the Baron de Fleur, which is nice. And now I can use my Chaos Base, dropping my Bystial Baldrake and getting my Bystial Lubellion. Then, of course, activating my Bystial Lubellion, and you will see in a moment that our opponent starts to realize that he's in a really bad spot and just scoops it up. But honestly, guys, when I saw the end bot that he had, I was like, okay, I will not break the end bot, especially because of the Appaloosa, because the Appaloosa will just negate everything that I have, every Bystial that I have. But I was really fortunate that I had the normal summon Seifert, and that Seifert also has a 1800 attack. So if he would have just kept his barrier statue on the board and not have gone into the Black Luster Soldier, then I would have attacked the barrier statue, and then the Appaloosa, then that would have been game. So it was a mistake of him to basically tribute one of his negates or his floodgates, the barrier statue, for the Black Luster Soldier that does not have any effect. If he would have just kept the barrier statue, I would have attacked over the barrier statue, and then I could not have attacked over Appaloosa, and Appaloosa could have negated all the Bystials, and that would have been game over. So we were able to break the board, but also with a little bit of help of our opponent. So let me know in the comments if you like these kind of short versus videos, if you like these, or if you prefer the longer videos. Happy that you were here. Please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to support this channel. That would help out a lot. Thanks for being here, and we will see each other in the next one.